The PlayStation Portal will not work. Nobody is going to buy it. It's too expensive. There's just no market for it. Why don't you just buy a backbone for half the price and just use your phone? Or get a Steam Deck or a Switch for a real handheld gaming experience. Those are some of the responses that I've had to pre-ordering the PlayStation Portal. But I think that those people have misunderstood who this device is aimed at, and I can't help but feel that that's because it's aimed at people like me. And if you're a gaming dad or a gaming mum, it's aimed at you too. Let's face it, parenting and gaming do not go hand in hand, especially if you have young children. And I don't know about you, but the days of 5, 6, 7 hour long plus gaming sessions are well and truly a thing of the past. Now it's half an hour here, a couple of hours there, and that state-of-the-art television that you bought a few years ago, that's now being used to watch Blippi and Mr. Tumble. And you've got little other choice than to just sit there and have that happen to you. Then, when the kids are finally in bed, it's game time, right? No, because that's the time that you spend in the company of your other half, and you can't watch TV together and play on the PlayStation at the same time. Well, that is where the PlayStation Portal comes in. It gives you a little bit of the best of both worlds, and you and your partner can sit together on the sofa in front of the TV, you're on the Portal and they're watching some intolerable nonsense like Love Island. Or you're sitting with the kids and whilst they're killing an hour or so on Netflix, you can just whip out the Portal and smash through a couple of dungeons on Diablo 4 or whatever floats your boat. But it's not just that, because despite the confusion and misinformation about the Portal, this is not just an at-home device. No, this puts all your favourite PS5 games in your hand literally anywhere in the world with a decent internet connection. That means break times at work, in bed, the garden, commuting, really just about any place with good Wi-Fi. And that can include hotspotting from your mobile or cellular phone. As long as your internet connection is solid, you'll have access to all your downloaded digital library, and if you have a disc version of the PS5, whatever's loaded in the drive too. At each side of the screen is a chopped up PlayStation 5 controller. Haptic feedback is enabled, and although it isn't obvious, the touchpad is now part of the touch screen. The only other real difference is that the thumbsticks are from the PSVR 2, which are ever so slightly smaller. Other than that, it's the same ergonomic delight that you've been used to for all these years with the DualSense controller. The Portal comes with an 8-inch LCD 60Hz screen capable of delivering 1080p gaming at up to 60 frames per second. As it's a streaming only device, it has no accessible internal storage and no SD card slot. And since it does only stream, having a solid internet connection and having that properly configured will be extremely important. I'll include some tips on how to do this at the end of the video. Although the Portal is a new device, the technology that it's built on has actually been around for years. I use PlayStation Remote Play all the time through my laptop or tablet paired with a DualSense controller via Bluetooth. It works really well, but having a dedicated device that's sole purpose is for remote play is what I'm looking forward to. It'll really bring back that sense of pick up and play, which you just don't get with your laptop, phone or tablet, because those devices have so many processes running on them and they're busy doing all sorts of things as well as streaming your PS5. The Portal is doing just one thing, so it should do that really well. Having said all of that, I'm under no illusions that this will not be everybody's cup of tea, and that Sony have made a couple of pretty odd decisions about the PlayStation Portal. The biggest criticism, and the valid one at that, is the lack of Bluetooth audio support. Sony do love a little bit of proprietary technology and have announced their new PlayStation Link system. They'll be launching 2 new products, the Pulse Explore wireless earbuds and the Pulse Elite wireless headset. Both of these audio devices will work via PlayStation Link, which supposedly offers lossless audio in an ultra-low latency audio format that Sony claims will help bring the next level audio performance to the gaming experience. But the headset will set you back £150 and the earbuds a whopping £200. Both devices are apparently capable of connecting to your phone via Bluetooth, which I think is a little ironic, and you can connect to a PC and Mac with a USB-A dongle. But still, if you want the earbuds, that's essentially doubled the price of the Portal just to add wireless sound. And to top it off, neither device is available at the release of the Portal. Pre-orders will go live on the 9th of November, but the earbuds won't ship at the earliest until December the 6th, and the headset not until February the 21st. So your only option for sound on the go, without annoying everyone around you, is to use the 3.5mm jack, which does seem like a massive own goal to me. Now, you can buy a 3.5mm to Bluetooth converter for not very much money, which will get the job done, but that means having a little dongle thing hanging out the back of the device, which I imagine will completely throw off the balance and feel of holding the Portal. Then there's the screen. It's totally understandable that it's not 4K, it'd be pointless really on an 8-inch screen, and it'd put a tremendous strain on your internet connection. But the lack of OLED is disappointing, especially when you compare it to the OLED Switch. And let's not forget that the Vita, which is over a decade old now, also had an OLED screen. Maybe it's an issue for power draw, maybe it's cost, I'm not sure. The LCD display certainly looks great from what I've seen so far, but I can't help but think that OLED would have been a better choice. The Portal also, oddly, does not work with the PlayStation Plus Premium Cloud Gaming subscription, should you have one, which, correct me if I'm wrong, that takes away the ability to play all PlayStation 3 games, at least for the time being anyway. Sony have kept very quiet about this, but I cannot imagine a world where they would build and release a handheld device only capable of streaming and not have it be compatible with their own cloud gaming service. I'd expect an announcement about that to come very soon indeed. At the time of recording this video, there are only 6 days until the Portal arrives, and I must admit, despite some of its flaws, I am really excited about its arrival, and I really hope that I'm right about it being a game changer for convenient gaming. Either way, I will be fully testing it at home and all sorts of other places, so please do check back in to see how that goes. I promise it will be fair, and I'll be sure to include any little tips and tricks I pick up along the way. Speaking of tips, I mentioned that I'd include a few on how to get the best possible stream quality between your console and Portal. So here are 3 quick ones. I do have a more detailed guide, which I will link in the description below. Firstly, have your console plugged into your network with an Ethernet cable if possible. A cabled connection is nearly always more stable, more reliable, and faster than wireless. Secondly, if you're using the Portal at home, make sure you have excellent wireless connectivity around your house. Mesh wireless networks are usually a good bet, but so too are those LAN over power plugs which use the internal electrical wiring in your home to transmit network data. They're a really good alternative to the expense and effort required to network a house with Ethernet cable. And thirdly, if you're playing away from home, make sure that your internet connection is fast and stable at both ends. That means good quality internet where your console is situated, as well as good quality internet where you are situated. You can run a speed test to determine this. Sony recommends 15 megabytes per second, which seems about right for streaming interactive 1080p video. A speed test will also show you your latency and network jitter, which will have a big impact on your streaming quality. These are my test results, Not the fastest by any means, but I don't have any issues with remote play and I do use it a lot. So there you have it. I am convinced that this is going to be awesome. And for me, I'm confident that it's going to be a worthwhile purchase. One word of caution though, this is going to be one of those love it or hate it pieces of tech. There will be many people that will buy it, especially around Christmas, not really understanding what it is or what you need to have in place for it to work properly. That's going to impact the user experience and ultimately reviews. Expect a lot of polarizing 1-star and 5-star reviews. That's it for this video. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch, and a special thanks to anyone that has liked, commented or subscribed. Means a lot.